the latest scientific advances made belief in God unreasonable and rendered the biblical creation accounts unbelievable? To help me answer this question, I'm joined today by Dr. Eddy Del Rio, a medical doctor and a Christian. In my experience, even non-Christians marvel at the complexity and elegance of the universe. Yet they're resistant to the idea that there's a creator behind the design. Why do you think that's the case?
Well, let me begin by agreeing with what I believe you think, and that is there is ample evidence for someone who's an honest investigator to see the argument for God, to make the God hypothesis reasonable and a rational one to take. I believe that most people have problems with this notion for a few different approaches. One, matters of emotion and will. When I say emotion, I'm talking about people have suffered injuries and disappointments and losses, and they become angry at God. And this becomes an obstacle to them seeing his handiwork. Then we can't deny the matter of will. If God is real and he's our creator, he has the right to make claims on our life and what we can do and what we should do and these things. Yet every individual struggles with trying to be the chief operating officer of their own life. So that's one level of it. Another one is a prior commitment to naturalism itself. The notion that all truth ultimately is found through scientific investigation, that the existence that we live in is strictly matter and everything can be reduced to matter. That is a philosophical position, and when people have that to begin with, it becomes an obstacle in them considering and accepting, again, the God hypothesis. Lastly, I would say the fact that an atheist has to kind of live in an inconsistent manner. William Lane Craig has talked about this very eloquently. He has book chapters called The Absurdity of Life Without God. But essentially, under the materialistic paradigm, there is no ultimate meaning, significance, or value in life. And so an atheist understands they come from nothing, they live for a short time without ultimate significance, meaning, or value, and they go to nothing. And if they were truly to live under that paradigm, they wouldn't be able to have happiness. Most of them choose happiness and choose to live inconsistently with their beliefs.
Yeah. Do you think that most of them are aware that they have this sort of philosophical fudging going on in the sense of only the naturalistic things that we can measure through science are real, and yet I assign very real value to my actions or to the significance of my life?
I would say that most of them don't have it. However, there have been very famous atheists, names that we would recognize, that were insightful enough and honest enough to actually document these things and mention words like despair and believing the big lie and all of these things, where they just put on a mask to go through life knowing that they came from nothing, they ultimately mean nothing, and they pass to nothing. I like to make an analogy of the Monopoly tokens.
Okay.
A great game if no one's not played. I don't know if anyone has never played Monopoly, but we pull the game out, we set it up, everyone selects a token, and each of those tokens are representing different levels of achievement. One of them is performing fantastically, and the others are not. But at the end of the game, they go right back into the box goes back into the closet, and the relative value of those tokens means nothing. This is the sad state of atheism.
You know, I actually really respect those atheists that have thought it through and realized that they're living sort of a grand illusion. It reminds me of Socrates' words that the unexamined life is not worth living.
Perfect.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.